I'm just going to talk about using a range of search tools within a particular browser, and the browser I'm going to use is Google Chrome, but any browser that you're used to using will have similar tools available for you to carry out a search. So the example I'm going to use here is just searching for reviews of a Samsung Galaxy, because I just want to see whether it's any good when I compare the specifications to maybe an iPhone 4 which has just come out. So let's say, the first thing obviously is to type in some keywords to actually carry out the search. So if I type in Samsung Galaxy S3 and press enter and then scroll all the way down, we'll see that there are hundreds and hundreds of pages on this particular thing. So to narrow it down, I could use the word review and again press enter. And the other thing which is very, very useful is on the left hand side there is a tab which gives you more search tools. So this is what you're probably used to seeing, and when you click on more search tools, one of the things I can find is just to look for reviews which have just come out in the past week, and that then makes some of the searches that I get quite interesting. So now I need to think about whether the hits that I've got, so I've narrowed it down to get just particular types of hits. So now I need to think about whether what is it that's being displayed here. So the very first hit does give me a review, and it's by a company called Phones For You, but it's in this coloured box, which means that this is advertised to appear right at the top. So I don't think I'm going to choose that particular one to read my review on. If I scan down very quickly, the other thing that I'll notice is this particular one is given in the Telegraph. Now the Telegraph is a newspaper and it may not be biased, so it's a well-known newspaper in the UK, so it would give me a good review based on how the Samsung works in the UK. Whereas this site here, Technorati.com, that is probably based in the US. I don't know that, I'm just assuming that from the .com. So let's go there and have a look to see what kind of things I might be looking at. Especially when you're trying to get an opinion, because reviews are normally opinions, you really need to be careful about where it is that you're going for your information. Now straight away I can see that it's actually a very involved website, so it's not just a couple of pages. And oh, that's quite interesting. So it is seems to be UK based, because it's well, actually it's not. I don't think it is UK based. This is an advert it's displaying at the top here. That's not the actual where the site is based. So if I scroll down a little bit more and see whether it gives me any more information about where it's based and whether I can trust the information. So we can find out a little bit about Technorati, so I can find out about this particular website. So if I've just gone to about to find out, so it's made by other bloggers, and actually there we go. So it's based in San Francisco. So I wouldn't be so sure about trusting this review, and these are just the sorts of things I would think about. Because it's based in California, then it might be that the review is actually given by somebody who lives in California, and that's where the iPhone or the Apple brand is located. So it might not be the best review. So what I would have to do is read this review completely through, and then I would have to go back and compare that to another review to see whether it's actually giving me information that I can trust. Now this is a review that somebody's done on YouTube, and so I'm not going to show you this particular one because this is probably somebody's opinion. However, it does go on for 48 minutes, so that might be a good one to compare other reviews to. This one, the information is only 6 days old, and this is in the Telegraph, and that might be a good one to look at also. And then there are just certain things which I'm going to just skip right over because I don't know who this person is or what the website is, so I'm going to carry on until I get to another website which I like, which I know about. So cnet.com is a very large established website for technology reviews. So let's just go there just so I can show you this and the sorts of things that you might want to think about. And the sorts of things I would want to think about here is that often large established websites like this are given phones to test for a few days. So they're not necessarily phones that the reviewer would have bought himself. And sure enough, I have clicked on the link and it's just basically going to compare the iPhone with the Galaxy and a lower version of the iPhone. So I can't see how that's going to be too fair a review, but it might be worth while looking at this information and comparing it to others. So really the point of just looking at these three websites is to try and get a feel for how to always double check the information you get on websites, because even when things when they're presented as fact, they might not always be that.